Hey, Nic Peterson here, bringing you more brain food. Today, I want to talk about mental fatigue, right? Something we don't think about a lot because unlike physical fatigue, you can't feel it the same way. Your muscle doesn't just give out and there's no soreness, right? So we don't think about mental fatigue the same way we think about physical fatigue, but we should, because we all know if you train a muscle without letting it recover, it just ends up atrophying. It doesn't grow, it just gets broken down. So it's really that downtime, that recovery time, that the magic happens. And great learners, great thinkers, when you're mastering something, a whole bunch of your brain activates. And it is exhausting. It is mentally exhausting. The cognitive load of learning something new is very, very high. And some of the highest performers on the planet, some of the highest impact people, the best learners, probably you, if you're watching this, you are vulnerable to mental fatigue and burnout. Because getting turned on is not the problem. I'm not here to motivate you, right? Sometimes, like a lot of times with high performers, big time learners, it's turning off that is the hard part. But that is the strategic advantage that great learners have over the long term. So if you think about chess champions who are phenomenal learners, they do this. Athletes do this. But it's not the way we're taught to do it in school. So let me break down real quick. How do you eliminate and prevent this mental fatigue? And if you don't do this, you're going to end up burning out. So a lot of the high performers, high impact people burn out and never deliver their greatness to the world. They never realize what they set out to realize because they just burn out. And when your cognitive load, when you don't have bandwidth, you cannot learn, right? It's like when you cram for a test, by the end of it, you're just not learning anything. You're just praying to hold on to these answers long enough to pass, right? So how do we eliminate this mental fatigue? The obvious one is chunk it up. If you got 10 years to learn it, take 10 years to learn it. You may learn it faster, but if you try and do it in one, you're going to have a hell of a time. You're going to give up, and after 10 years, you're not going to be there. So don't try to expedite every process. The long-term processes are long-term for a reason. We can shortcut them. But you have to work in the second, which is white noise or white space. This is space where you are relaxed. Okay, some people are relaxed when they're reading. Some people are relaxed when they meditate. Some people are stressed out of their fucking mind when they meditate. And those are the people that should not be meditating, right? So this white space is a time when your mind is relaxed. And it does a few things. One, the cognitive load lessens, right? There's less intensity. It's kind of like taking a telescope and you've been looking through it the wrong way, right? You have this broad view of the world and you're focused really, really hard on learning something super granular. And when you rest, when you find a white space, it's like turning the telescope around and broadening the scope of everything. So you actually make new connections and learn way faster when you relax, which helps accelerate the learning. But great chess champions have often been known to chess, study, play, and then just stop and go exercise for 2 or 3 hours. And that is their white space. That's their diffuse activity. Okay, so it could be meditation, could be a hobby, it could be exercise. Some of the great inventors, some of the great thinkers, Benjamin Franklin, Roosevelt, these guys, were nappers. That's when they relaxed. That was their space. I'm a napper. I'm the same way. But after a short nap, you come back and you outproduce the rest of the world, or you learn faster than most people are learning because they're not finding this white space. Now, here's how you know if you need the white space, right? Because it's not an excuse to do nothing. If you have a hard time turning off, if you want to solve all of the problems before you rest, you need to work in something that you enjoy. And it's relaxing. Again, it doesn't do any good to go, I gotta meditate and then check it off the list and go on, because there was actually no cognitive relief. Okay? So that is priority one. Number two, and you should go back to our video on communication, because the single biggest source of mental stress, mental fatigue amongst people that are learning new things is the lack of communication skills. Because you learn something new, you want to share it, and the people around you don't understand why you're learning it. What are you sharing? What the hell are you saying? Why is it so important that you read? Yada, yada, yada. Like your coworkers, your colleagues, your spouse tend to provide resistance, which increases the mental fatigue and obviously slows down. There's friction, right? Slows down the mastery process. So learning how to communicate and finding white space, creating white space. Now, everybody's different. I do it personally right in the middle of the day. So I work until my brain slows down, and I'll give you some stuff in later videos to identify when your cognitive function is dropping. So I work until my cognitive function starts to decline, and then white space, and then back to work until my cognitive function starts to decline, and then white space, which is sleep. And then I build it in weekly. And I've discovered that after 3 or 4 days, I need a full day with a little more white space. So on Wednesdays and Sundays, those are my white space days. It's what do I do that's going to chill me out so I can come back on Thursday and Monday at full strength and learn faster, more efficiently, and that kind of stuff. So those are the two things I would do to eliminate your mental fatigue and just prevent it. If you are not drowning right now, implement your white spaces and work on the communication. That's one of the things you should master with your newfound mastery skills. Work on the communication so that if and when the time comes, the cognitive load becomes great from mastering something complex or in-depth, or it's just fully absorbed, you're fully absorbed in it. You have the skill set and the ability to communicate what the hell is going on with the people that love you. Because again, when people that support you and love you and care about you provide resistance, that is a great, great, great mental strain, and it's going to prevent a lot of positive things from happening. So, eliminate your mental fatigue, avoid it altogether, build in your white space, and I'll have some ideas for white space. Hit me on Facebook, Instagram, leave comments below. Tell me what you do for your white space, because I like new activities too. So, hit that up, do it. It's only as effective as the action you take. And remember, common sense is not common practice. I care way more about the latter. Practice this stuff. Guys, you just got hit with some really powerful and pragmatic stuff. Don't you think? I do. And if you agree, hit the thumbs up button below and like the video. Let me know in the comments what other videos you want to see, what you want me to expand upon, and what questions you have. And remember, all of this stuff is only as powerful as the actions you take in your execution, the practical applications you can derive from it. So let's see how quickly and effectively and efficiently you can master the things to come. You're going to get information here that's going to help you on your journey that you will not find anywhere else. So